Hello, my friends. It's Bradley J. Today we go to Springfield, Vermont for a glider lesson. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, folks, we're going to get going here, and there's the tow plane over there. We'll talk about that plane a little later. And now we're going to get hooked up with the tow rope. Can you bring the rope right over here? This is, not a very thick rope. It's obviously strong enough, but we'll talk more about that later. Thank you.
And wings are level, which tells the tow pilot that we're ready to take the slack out of the rope. And our wing runner, Colby, is giving signals to the tow plane. And when the rope is taut, I'm going to waggle the rudder, which is the signal we're ready to go.
This part is always a rush. Well, maybe not for you because you've been doing it since you were 15. But trust me, first time you do this, it's a rush. And if there happens to be a
We're already in the air. It doesn't take us long.
Good. And it is my understanding that it is a bumpy day.
A little bumpy today.
So, Bill, what does a pilot be thinking about at this time?
Well, I'm going to be following, it's like formation flying on the tow plane. We're going to do just what he does. It's like a military pilot flying formation. We have a 200-foot rope, and when the tow plane's straight and level, I'm straight and level.
One thing that people talk about is how quiet it is in a glider, and it's really not that quiet.
It's not that quiet. The more modern, tightly sealed canopies have less wind noise than this glider does. So we're also flying pretty fast on tow, and once we get off tow, we'll be flying about 20 miles an hour slower, and it will be quieter.
For those of you who are new to this, like me, you have to remember to breathe.
Yeah.
Because, and when you get a real different sensation like this, and it's bumpy, you forget you're strapped in well, and you forget to breathe.
Yeah, well, you got to breathe. That's important.
While we're cruising here, what are we seeing?
So I'm just following the tow plane, and you can see the fall colors are just a little bit past peak at this point. It'd be nice if the sun was shining on them.
What advice do you give about your position compared to the plane, the tow plane?
We're flying with the tow plane basically on the horizon, and this puts us above the turbulence from the propeller called the prop wash. This is called high tow position. So again, I just follow him. He's in a little bit of a turn. I'm in a little bit of a turn.
How fast are we going?
Well, we're going about 65 to 70 miles an hour. And once we get off tow, we'll be flying about 45 miles an hour. So we'll get quieter, I guarantee.
Folks, this red knob is the release knob. When prompted by Bill, I will pull that, and you'll see, I really want you to see the rope shoot out as
the rope goes, and then the tow plane dives away, makes a descending turn to the left. We make a little turn to the right to stay clear.
Okay. And tell me, go ahead.
We're the ones that release the rope, and then the tow plane brings the rope back down all through the landing.
Tell me about the very few gauges that I see here. On my left.
On the left is the altimeter, which is how high we are, actually above sea level. And so we're going to go up to probably 2,500 feet above the ground. And then there's a radio, and in the middle there's an air vent, and below that a compass. And then to the right of that is our airspeed indicator. And to the far right there is what's called a variometer. It's a very sensitive rate of climb. We use that instrument to help us find the lift and stay in the lift.
All right. And once released, what are we going to try to do? What are our goals?
Well, our goals are just to hopefully find a little rising air that we can extend our flight. We don't have a lot of sunshine today, and so it's a little difficult to have good thermals. But we're just going to fly around, do some basic turns and straight and level, and simple flying around the area.
Good. What mountain is that off to my 10 o'clock?
That's Mount Ascutney, and very close to the Connecticut River. It's a great mountain for sailplanes. There's always some rising air around it.
Now, once we release, what will my challenges be?
Well, we're going to release, get you familiar with the area a little bit, and then we'll let you do a little bit of flying, put your hand on the controls, and kind of get a feel for the flying. We're going to get off in just a couple hundred feet, and when we pull the release knob, it's going to make a bang noise, and it's kind of like a 22 going off. It's not real loud, but just so you know what it is. And that red knob that's in front of you, Bradley?
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a be on our own?
Okay, ready to release?
Ready to release.
Okay, watch the rope, people. Here we go, releasing.
Yep.
I can feel it
Watch
slow
the tow
down.
plane.
Yep, tow plane down to the left. We go up to the right.
There we go.
And that is just spectacular.
Now it gets a little quieter.
Yeah, we're going a lot more slowly and it's more relaxing. All right, folks, I'm going to put this camera away and pay attention to business. And Bill's going to fly us for a little bit while I pack away this stuff. We'll let you know how it goes. For you to know what happens after this point, in a first-hand manner, you're going to have to come up and you're going to have to take an introductory lesson. So, Bill, it's time to come in for a landing.
Yep.
Tell me about the way we set up for a landing.
Well, we're starting our downwind leg right now. We're picking up our speed a little bit, and we're flying opposite the way we're going to land. And we're going to control our rate of descent in the landing pattern with our spoilers.
How high should we be on this?
This is about right. We're at a good altitude right now.
So what are the three?
It's our downwind leg,
Downwind leg.
our base leg,
Okay.
which we're turning right now.
And at the berm, at the end of the runway, there's a drop. Why is that?
Well, that's where they built up the runway, and you can see the reservoir down below. So, and now we're lined up on final. We're going to land on the grass just where we took off.
What a glorious thing it is to be up in a glider with a great instructor on a Vermont day. This is something you might consider if you're looking for a thrill, a potential accomplishment, something different, something exciting that's quite affordable. You might want to consider an introductory lesson. Thanks to the New England Soaring Association and Bill Batesel for making this video possible. If you like the video, consider subscribing and click on the bell to get notified of future posts.